Hello friends and family, my name is Megan and this is my Ireland journey. So this is a video so you guys can see what my 2 weeks was like in Ireland. It's better than writing everything out on a piece of paper, it's better than showing you pictures and videos, but this is me actually getting to tell you my experiences and my journey. So lots of stuff to go through to get there. The cost of the trip at first was $2,900, so $2,900, and it ended up actually being $3,400. So throughout the whole time of trying to raise money, it was kind of stressful, but you guys made it so beautiful. You guys helped me get here. You helped me to experience a different part of the world. I had never been on a flight overseas before. That was weird. Flying for 9 hours at a time, going to a completely different place. So you guys helped me get there, and I am so unbelievably grateful. You guys are just wonderful, and I just appreciate all of the support that you gave me, whether it be prayers or money or just telling me that you loved me and that you supported my, my heart and what I wanted to go for. And for this worship missions trip, so had dance workshops. A ton of you guys came and helped me out. It was a bunch of girls, but I had some guys. It was so great. I taught ballet. For adults, I had kids class, I had hip hop, and I had lyrical, and I actually had 2 of those sessions. So I had one in May and I had one in July. I was also invited to a church called the Vineyard Community Church. They just invited me to come teach. They gave me all the proceeds. It was so wonderful. I was so honored to come. So the people I got to go on this trip with were awesome. My main core group was Teresa, Hannah, and Tori. We got to ride on a plane together, lots of hours spent stressing out, tired. The first day we got onto the plane, I had 30 minutes of sleep. So lots of fun stories to tell. So there was a group from Texas that came and joined us. It was Steve and Andrew, who were married, and then they had 2 kids, Micah and Mariah, who their family was such a blessing. They were just loved Jesus in such a passionate way. Getting to have them with us was awesome, and their kids were just wonderful to spend time with. And then another guy from Texas was Jack. He was awesome, like big brother. Never a dull moment with him, always cracking a joke. We called him our traveling guide. He was the map. He was awesome, loved him. And then we had a group from New York who joined us. It was Sherry and Crystal, who are sisters, and then Kelly. So they all came from the same church. They were so passionate. They were just fireballs, is what I always call them. They loved to dance, they loved to worship. Just awesome girls, loved them. And then from our group, of course, it was, again, Teresa, Tori, Hannah, and then Chris and Danielle, who I've known Danielle for years. I've grown up with her in a homeschool group and dancing together all the time, and then they had a baby too, so we had quite a bit of us from Ohio as well. Worship was a big part, a worship missions trip, so involving that, and then so we would worship in the hotel. Once we worshipped on top of a large hill that took 10 minutes to walk up on. It was actually by the remains of an old castle. So lots of amazing scenery, stuff you'd never see in the U.S. Lots of castles that are abandoned, but still beautiful, beautiful. So we got to worship by that. There's a place called Giant's Causeway that we got to go to. Lots of people don't know what it is. It's a place covered in rocks. I believe it was a place there from God. I don't know what the other stories are. But anyways, beautiful on the coast, the northern coast. We got to worship on a heap of rocks. That was so cool. People are gathering around us. We have a guitar, one guitar. One of the ladies that we were with had a melodica. Just getting to do so much. People just gathering around us and just listening and just sitting by us and wondering what we're doing. It was beautiful moments like that. So we met up with a group of people called Burn 24/7 Belfast, which was awesome group of people. Ian and his wife were wonderful. I never actually got to meet his wife. She was actually had to stay at home with her kids, but so hospitable. They had us dinner ready. They had sweet potato soup. His wife had us these cards for each one of us ready. It says, "Welcome to Burn, Northern Ireland." and she even had my name ready. They had a 24-hour burn going on, and I think it was their very, very first one, so that was a really cool experience for them. Did worship with them, just loved on us, so that was a great experience. So there was another group of people that was in Rostrevor, Ireland. They had us come visit them for 2 days. They gave up one of their homes. Two of the girls gave their home up to us. Beautiful house. It was so fun to live there because we had been in a hotel for so long before that. So it was great getting to really be in community with one another as a group. It was a group of YWAMers from Kona, Hawaii that had transferred themselves over to Ireland and were just dedicating their hearts and that land to just worship and prayer. We actually got to do a time of worship with them, and they just prophesied over us for like, I think it was 2 hours. Each one of us, they specifically prophesied over us, and I think it was a couple of people dedicated time to have a script for us, so everything that was being prophesied over us and spoken into our lives was written down so that we would never forget it. So I will always hold this as a treasure. They are just wonderful. So that was a great experience. And really, really cool thing happened. I was just sitting on the floor. It was actually dim in the room, just worshiping, and all of a sudden I see this little speck on the floor, and I was like, okay, maybe that's not a diamond. In my head I'm going, that is so not real. But I just want to check just to make sure. I'm like, it's probably just a crumb, but I want to see just in case. So I picked it up and I'm like, oh my goodness, this thing is like not tiny enough to, it's big, it's shining. And I look over at Tori, I'm like, Tori, I think I just found a diamond. She was like, well, shoot, girl, that's so cool. And, you know, she's just, we're just, you know, in worship, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I didn't, like, say it or anything like that, but when we were done, I went over to Chris. I'm like, so Chris, I think I found a diamond. He had looked at it. He was like, oh my gosh, dude, that's like a diamond. This is a real diamond. And we're all like, I'm like, girls, check all your wedding rings. No, nobody was missing any diamonds, but I had to keep it in this so that I wouldn't lose it. I tried to put it in my jewelry box, but oh dear Lord.
Uh-oh.
Wait. It's in there. It's just stuck.
Don't do that.
See it?
There it is.
It's stuck. Hold on, it's not coming out. There it is. Okay, okay, okay. So it just, I kept it in here just to make sure it was safe so it didn't fall out. I didn't keep it in my jewelry box or nothing like that. But, I mean, if you can see that little tiny glare, that's diamond. It has a beautiful cut and everything like that. I haven't taken it to a jewelry yet, but I want to because I would love to put it in a necklace or something like that. Just, that was amazing because God, He does that kind of stuff. Signs and miracles and wonders are happening. And so this was God saying, I love what you're doing, and I love that you're coming just to inhabit a place for me to just sit and just love on you guys. And He was just so good. God was so good. So this was just one of the cool, awesome things that just got me so excited about what He's doing. And so on my mom's side of the family, my grandpa, my papa, is German, and he is extremely Irish. And also on my dad's side as well, Sullivan is Irish. So I am extremely Irish. So when I was told about this trip, I was so excited because I'm like, this is where my heritage is. This is where I'm from. So super excited about that. So my goal was, when I got there, was to meet my family because I have multiple cousins and aunts and uncles that live over there still. So got into contact with my cousin Alice and got to meet them. They came and picked me up. Spent 5 hours out of one of my days. They took me to my Uncle Dan, who I had met before. I spent time with when I was little. Him and my Aunt Claire had come over to the U.S. a few times. Their Irish accent was so fun. I always remembered them. And my Aunt Claire actually had passed away, but getting to see my Uncle Dan was so wonderful. He's about 80 years old. And then they took me back to Alice's house, and they had a full course meal for me. I just wanted to cry because I felt home. When we got together, it was like we had known each other for years. Actually, we got to Skype with my grandpa, my grandma, and my brothers, and my mom and my dad. So that was so cool. They had never heard of Skype before, so that was a really cool opportunity. So that was just an amazing day, getting to see them, getting to spend time with them and just form a relationship with them that I had never had before. So the scenery was probably my favorite part. We got to drive along the coast one of the days that we got to go there, and we just took a bus, and so there was the water, and then we had just mountainsides, just all the way down this road. We were driving for, it felt like 2 hours, but I was just like, the whole time my jaw is dropped. They say when you go to Ireland you see 40 shades of green, and it's so true. Everything is gorgeous. I don't think I ever saw one wilted flower. Everything is just completely beautiful. Their grass, I've told everyone here, our grass is poop compared to their grass. It's gorgeous. So I mean, like, we got to lay in the grass while we were at this place looking over the coast, and it just felt like bedding. It was so beautiful, and that was my favorite place, the place where I'm talking about the bedding. As you can see in the video that I'm showing you guys right now, it is just white water. Like, it just was the most beautiful thing I had ever come to. It was cold that day, but it was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. There was this rope bridge, and I knew I had to go on it because my cousin Jordan would be like, she would get me if I didn't do it, because all our lives we've been daredevils. So me and Tori bought tickets to go on, and I wasn't expecting it to be this weird because it started swaying while I'm walking on this bridge. The wind started blowing. It was so scary, and we had so much fun. It was such a memory that me and Tori had, so that was one of the cool things about that place. So there was this place called the Field of Angels. So St. Patrick, while he was in the Field of Angels meditating and worshiping and praying to the Lord, he had visitations from angels. That's why it's called the Field of Angels. So God's presence was so strong there at that time, and it's continued. I mean, you could feel it when he walked on. So here's a story while I was there. While I walked in to this place, there was a little bit of a hill. So I walk up, and God whispered to me, he said, this is holy ground. You know, you could feel it. There was this presence there. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to take off my shoes right now because I won't have this experience again. So I took off my shoes, and I'm walking up, and he just says, keep walking, get over this hill. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to go dance. So while we got up there, I was walking, and in my mind I pictured this just little cove that I was going to go hide in. So I couldn't see any of it, so I was just like, God, I want to get to that cove. So I just keep walking, and then all of a sudden I see this place that is surrounded by trees, and in the center there's this bush. So right then God was like, I want to show you the journey that Moses had, that glory walk that he had up the mountain to come find me. That was like a representation of that to me. But I go over there, threw my my bag down and all that kind of stuff, and I danced. And I know people were walking around, they were watching, but I didn't care. I was just like, I just want to dance. I just want to worship. This is my time with the Lord that I won't have again. So one of the really cool things that God shared his heart with me before I left, he told me that when I would come back, my hair would be white. Like as in Moses. He was telling me that, I would look different when I came home, that I would be a different person. And so I really feel like all of the things that happened, whether it was an experience from meeting someone or it was just quiet time with the Lord, I came back a different person. While we were in Dublin, after we had gotten out of a coffee shop, we went to this little place, and we were just going to sit down and start worshiping. So we just sat our stuff down. We were, people are passing by. We went on kind of a busy area. But, I mean, a couple people we would walk up to say, hey, do you guys need prayer for anything? And some of them would just walk by. A couple stayed. But it got to the point of where Chris, who was leading worship, he said, guys, let's just come on. I know we prayed for a couple people, but people felt intimidated. They just want to walk by really quickly so they don't get stopped by any of us. He was like, guys, let's just come in really quickly, and people will gather around. People started coming by, and then Chris just stops. He's still playing, but he starts, hey guys, we're not here asking for any kind of money or anything like that, but we want to impart to you guys, we want to just share God's love. He loves you, he loves you, he loves you. And we got to minister to so many people through that, just by coming in all together, not asking, hey, do you guys need any prayer? Just people felt welcomed. So that was so cool, getting to pray for people, getting to meet some awesome people. That was so the biggest impact that this trip had on me was, first of all, you guys know this was my first trip away from home. So this was a big leap for me, but it was so great. I learned how to be strong. That's that's one people I tell people. I learned how to be bold and how to stick up for myself without without my parents, me asking their opinion on stuff. Even though I did get to talk to them every day, that was so great. I learned how to kind of have my own opinion on things. I learned how to be brave and how to walk into a situation and just say, I'm Megan, I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. And I learned so much about myself. This is something that I'll always take away from the trip.